Hello, Giants fans. Welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. The Giants ended up splitting with the Diamondbacks after Game 4 ended in a bullpen collapse from Eric Miller, who came in and he allowed 2 runs. Only one of them was earned, but he essentially gave up the strong 5-inning start from Jordan Hicks. Mike Yastrzemski did hit a bomb in that game. He's still showing that he at least has occasional power, but they ended up splitting with the Diamondbacks, which now, by the way, they're tied with them for 3rd place in the National League West after tonight's game, in which they beat the Mets 5-2. Keaton Winn pitched 6 strong innings of 1-run ball, and Nick Ahmed had an RBI single. Matt Chapman had an RBI double, and Michael Conforto homered in this game. And in total, the Giants ended up putting 5 runs on the board against the Mets. And their bullpen was able to hold it this time. And so they've taken Game 1 of this series. And so they've got currently an 11-win and 13-loss record, but we still see that they're able to put up these games where they get the bats going and they score a lot of runs. So I don't believe that the record is going to stay the same down the stretch, just from what you can gather. I think the issue for the Giants is just getting all aspects of the team, that would be offense, defense, and pitching, that would be starting pitching and the bullpen, getting all of them to coordinate. And that essentially means not having to have something go wrong to make you lose every game that you have to win. And for the Giants, I think that's key. They have a very talented starting rotation right now. And I think that definitely, it seems a little bit ironic that I'm saying this at a time when Blake Snell is actually struggling. But obviously I was pushing the fact that they needed him. And probably down the stretch, that's going to turn out to be just entirely correct. They will need him, and they're going to need him to pitch well. But it remains very true that their rotation is talented, and that they're consistently able to get some really good starts. And the bullpen too, they can hold leads. It's just, I honestly think that timing is everything, and the main thing here is that things don't go wrong at the wrong time. And they're able to put runs on the board, and are essentially, they're well-rounded too with the bats. That's something that I feel like they've done well, put themselves in a position to have a lineup that is well-rounded. They get on base, and they hit home runs, and the home runs come at the right times. Therefore, they're just able to put a ton of runs on the board. And as of right now, they still have a losing record, but the key is going to be to get everything coordinated, get everything together to the point where they have the right timing on everything. And it's just, I think if they can do that, the record, it's just not going, they're not going to have a losing record for that much longer. And this is actually, I think for those of you that would remember from last year, when the Giants were trying to catch up, I definitely right now I'm just expressing a lot more hope and optimism than I was last year. And that's just for a lot of just a lot of reasons. But this time right now, I really see the capability to just put a winning product out there. I really see in the roster that, like, I believe they really do have the ability to get consistently good starts, runs on the board, and a bullpen that is able to hold the lead. Despite the 11-13 record that they currently have, I see that as being the ability of this team. So I'm way more optimistic about catching up than I might have been at other times. And this game one against the Mets, they're a team that the Mets would stand 12-10 now. So they prior to this they were 12-9. So they beat them. They have a winning record, and it's just going forward. This should be another pretty close, hard-fought series, and the Giants they have to make it go their way. So I see it. The ability to win is there for this team. And other thing to remember is we have a pretty small sample size in just 25 games. This has been a small sample size, so maybe what we're doing right now is just waiting for everything to even out. I mean, yeah, we saw them blow it a few times. We saw some things happen that we wish they could have made more progress and taken certain games, been in a better position. Could things have gone better up until this point? They absolutely could have. We saw some things I think we can own up to needed to be better for this team. But at the same time, we really need a larger sample size to see what really happens pan out. I mean, who can't see the Giants can get on base, they can hit bombs, and they can pitch as well. They actually have pitching this year. Last year it was just essentially a struggle with starters who sometimes didn't know what they were doing. Bullpen days, just everything. They didn't really have even a good strategy for even making it through games. This year is different. We need to let the sample size increase here and let the process play out and see the results. And what's the main thing here? I'm just going to draw our attention to another thought. It's avoiding injury, and it's something the Giants at times just haven't done well. But avoiding injury is going to be key if they want to keep this up. If they lose, key piece of their lineup, key piece of their rotation, a key piece of their bullpen, and the timing is wrong, then it could mess things up. They're going to have to stay healthy. And it's still early in the season, but they're going to have to be better at that than they've been at certain other times. And as of right now, I think that's all the information that to really go through right now. This series against the Mets is definitely it's off to a strong start, really, and it's just the key for the Giants is just going to be that they're able to be consistent this time at doing what they do. We saw flashes of the stuff not only last year but the year before. They swept the Dodgers in 3 games last year. They had their time where they were really at their high. So it's not like they never had it, but they're going to have to do what they do consistently. Part of that is staying healthy. Part of that is just not falling into slumps. And I would say the third part is that timing of everything, it both on the field and off the field, it just stays good. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.